Thanks, Tim. Bet you never thought our dads would be sitting out there tonight with two sons at the top of the class. They were somewhere down in the middle. But hey, but we are. I was once told that those who say that our high school years are the best years of our lives lied. After pondering this statement for some time, I hope those people were lying. You see, we have our whole lives ahead of us. Why would we want our lives to peak at such an early age? For the record, I'd be lying if I told you that I hated school. The experiences that I have been through with my classmates over the years have shaped me in more ways than I can imagine. We have everlasting memories from all those years in school. I'll never forget the moment when the mighty Commodores prevailed for the first time in school history over Monessen on senior night, or the feeling of pride as I walked barefoot across that same muddy field after playing my final halftime show in a Frazier uniform. Then there are all those memories we have from spending time with each other in class and at lunch in the cafeteria. As much as we would probably like to forget at times, there's all that information that we learned in class, too. I know that I'll forever have Middle English words branded in my mind because Mrs. McVeigh had us memorize the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. And every time I see a vehicle whip around a turn, I'll think to myself, that vehicle doesn't slide off the road because of the road's coefficient of friction. And whenever I hear Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, I'll always think of learning about midpoints in Mr. Fedor's geometry class because he referred to the midpoint as the Bon Jovi point because you're halfway there. I'm sure that I could reminisce for hours about all the good times I've had with everybody. Our future experiences have a lot to live up to. The ones we've had here in this school, I wholeheartedly believe that there's a set of guidelines we need to follow to make our future experiences better. First and foremost, I think we all need to work a little harder. On Tuesday, some of you may have seen what we've accomplished this year. Now, imagine if we all worked a little bit harder. I would say that we could definitely achieve anything we set out to do. Another guideline to follow is to enjoy and appreciate life. If you can't appreciate your life, it will be impossible to have good memories. All the fun we've had over these 13 years happened because we all tried to enjoy our time together. Greater responsibility should not inhibit us from fully appreciating all that life has to offer. In all honesty, I myself look forward to learning all the things our parents had to learn as adults. Now, the final guideline I have for you comes in the form of a story. When I was thinking about what to talk about here tonight, a story from my elementary years popped into my head. At first, I wasn't quite sure if it had any significance, but after thinking it over a while, I decided that what I have learned from it was definitely worth sharing with all of you. See, I've always been the kind of person that has had an easy time in school. In my 13 years here, I've never needed to spend endless hours studying material in order to learn it. I've almost always learned by just listening in class, doing the work, and maybe skimming over the text one last time before a test. I'm also the kind of person who likes to be challenged. When I was in second grade, I decided that the work was too easy for me to just do at home. Instead of doing my homework at night, I would come home from school, say I didn't have any work, and then stay outside until the sun receded under the horizon. The next day, I would say that I forgot my homework and ask for whatever assignment I had the night before and then complete it in class. My foolproof method of doing my work and preserving my evenings had one flaw, though. At the age of 7 or 8, I still believed in the out-of-sight, out-of-mind theory. In our garage, my dad had a set of winter tires. And these tires were a convenient place to keep sports equipment. So one day, while getting my glove and a baseball to go out and play in the yard, I had the brilliant idea to store my homework assignments in these tires. Only I knew they were there. My parents didn't play baseball, and those tires were never going back on the car. This hiding spot was the last place anyone would accidentally run across my stash of incomplete homework, or so I thought. After many weeks of hiding my papers, I was delightfully surprised to see my mom waiting to pick me up from school, because it was rare that I was ever picked up from school. My parents were fans of that perfectly good yellow bus that drives right past our house. My delight was short-lived, though, because on further analysis of my mother, She did not look pleased to see her wonderful son. And she was also holding 4 bags of papers. My heart took a vacation to the bottom of my stomach. So we spent at least an hour talking to my teacher, who thought it was strange that I forgot my homework day in and day out, but didn't bring the occurrences to my mother's attention because I wasn't behind in class. And if you know my parents, I did not escape this predicament unscathed. I spent the next few weeks doing every assignment over again. And after sacrificing many evenings, I learned that it was better to just do something instead of ignoring it. Even though I still procrastinate at times, just ask my parents. This story always weighs on my mind, and I think of how I really don't want to see my mother standing in the office with a semester's worth of homework and a look that lets me know that my fun has just reached its destination. So I hope everyone can take something from my experiences. We don't have to put off what we need to get done in order to have a little bit of fun. Ignorance is definitely not bliss. Those hidden papers will get you if you don't get to them first. They're only going to interfere with what you want to do. To enjoy life, follow the guidelines I've set out for you. Put forth the necessary effort and a little bit extra. Try to appreciate life, and at all costs, avoid those pesky tires. If you do this when you leave here, it should be easy to say, you know, I really enjoyed myself in high school, but this is definitely the best time of my life. This time, on behalf of my class, I want to thank everyone for celebrating this great occasion with us. I would also like to thank the teachers who have provided us with the knowledge to be competitive in college or the workforce, and the administrators who set the bar high for us. Last but not least, I want to thank Mr. Staggers and the band for playing for us. And finally, to my fellow classmates, good luck in your future endeavors. I have high hopes for us as a class. Let's go out and make our town and our school proud to call us their own. No matter where we go or where we choose to live our lives, we will always be Commodores. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2012.
Oh, man.